back to my channel. Refuge Tea here with my Granny's Closet, back with another video for you guys. As you can hear it in my voice, I have almost and completely 110% lost my voice. I will probably lose it completely tomorrow because tomorrow my son graduates. I'm so excited. I'm going to be screaming at the top of my lungs when they call his name. Woo! But it has been a crazy weekend. It is only Wednesday. Oh my Gideons, you guys, I am tired, but I've been having such a blast. So before we get into all those details and before we get into today's video, let's get into some intro stuff. If you don't know, now you know. You can find me on Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook. All underneath my Granny's Closet 3G. You guys can find me on my Facebook page where I make and sell all my farmers market items. I make and sell them for my Facebook page. So if you guys are ever interested in browsing or purchasing or seeing what I make there, you can find me at my Facebook page and you can look and check all that out there. For my group page, my Granny's Closet 3Gs, no spaces, just add the S at the end. That is where we congregate to conversate about all the crafty goodness. So if you guys want to go over there and talk amongst yourself, share all the good things that you make. And if you have questions about markets, pricing, we are all there available for you guys to ask those questions. So you can go on and check it on out. If you are new or a returning subscriber, thank you for joining me today. You're wonderful. You're wonderful. I really do appreciate each and every single one of you guys. You have no idea how much your comments this week have motivated me to wake up and go, 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 because I am so tired. You guys don't know. T-shirt of the day. You guys, I have I said a hip hop. A hip it to the hibbit, a hip hip, a hobby. You don't stop the rocket to the bang bang boogie. Say up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie beat. A skiddly we walk, we rock a Scooby Doo. Well, guess what? America, we love you. You can rock to you with so much so you can rock to you 101 years old. A baby rock, a baby bubba to the boogie to bang bang, a boogie to the beat. Beat is so unique. Come on, everybody, let's dance to the beat. Yes, I know that whole song. Rapper's Delight is one of my favorite songs of all time. Miss Z, as you guys know, did get this printed for me, and I'm so excited. By the way, have you guys seen the videos that she has been dropping lately? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I am enjoying all the fun and laughter and just the shenanigans these ladies are getting into, watching them go to LA and Hollywood and just having so much fun at these, you know, crap or knitting or yarn stores. But I tried recording this video yesterday. Didn't work out for me. Why? Because my voice was so bad I could barely talk. So I will give you a sample of that. If you can hear it in my voice, I'm losing it. I've been very busy with middle schoolers, with 8th graders, yelling and screaming and having tons of fun at the end of the school year carnivals. And I was in charge of a game today, and it required a lot of voice work. So I am very, very tired. See what I mean? I could talk way better today. My voice is still a little bit funky, but I could still talk better than I could talk yesterday. All right, you guys, let's get into today's video. Before we get into the origins of crochet, I am so excited to share what I learned. And it's not a lot because surprisingly, there's not a lot of information about where it originated from. However, there is a lot of places that claim that, you know, oh, we have that, you know, it's ours, we got it first. So I tried to grab from a little bit of everything just so that I can have enough information. But before we get into that, you guys, let's get into some unpackaging. So I ran out of my lip balm keychain holder kit boxes, so I bought some more of those. So let's get into that one. Oh. So I buy these. They are they come in a 30 pack, and it's just these brown foldable boxes with the window. I will link where I get these on Amazon down below. I'll leave that link down below. Next, I ran out of bamboo lids and metal boba straws for my boba teas, my regular iced teas, and my coffee drinks. And I have that bag right here. So let's get into this one. Oh, nice. The lids for my teas come in this cool little thing. Oh, sweet. They came with extra metal straws. That is awesome. Oh, okay. They came in 2 different sizes. So I got 2 metal medium and 2 metal small, skinny, long. It came with a couple straw cleaners. And then, oh, what is this? Oh, what is that? It's like fondue forks. That's cool. This one's out of the bag. I'll show you that one. I didn't know that this was what came with it. Well, isn't that a little bit of surprise? So here's my lids for, because I buy my teacups, my mason jar teacups, I buy these separately, and then I have to buy the bamboo lids separately, and there you go. And then the straws is right here. Some of you guys said that you like the sound and you don't mind the sound of the, so I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it. I wish they would have came individually wrapped. That would have been so much more ideal. So, perfecto. And they're short enough to where they fit in the jar. I love it. I love it. I love it. So that is it for my inventory restock. Now I got something for myself. This is a little bit of a belated gift to myself. Every once in a while I purchase something just for me, and I am so excited to show these to you guys. My new shirt came in. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And I just can't. You would think after going to Knott's Berry Farm on Monday, then doing a carnival full day at my kids' school yesterday, and then today doing field day, I would not have any more energy. One of my friend Sabrina, she was like, how do you have all this energy left? And I was like, I don't. I'm just pretending. And that's just right now. I'm like, I'm so exhausted that I'm loopy. That's what it is. So I'm excited that I got my Aquaman t-shirt. And then not just that. Does anybody know what that symbol is? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you guys. Look at Aquaman. Puma. Dude, I'm so stoked. I don't care. I'm wearing this to my son's graduation tomorrow. My son, I was like, this morning I was telling him, I was like, I'm trying to figure out, goes, Mom, what's wrong? You look so like confused. I go, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to wear for your graduation tomorrow. He was like, I don't care. Just, you don't have to dress up. Just wear what you want. The lighting, whenever I get close, it gets darker. So I try to stand back and then I come forward. So now that I have all the unboxing out of the way, now that I have all that stuff out of the way, let's get into some origins of crochet. First off, the word crochet is a French word and it means hook, not to hook or the hook, but just the word hook. And in French, the T is left out, so it's crochet. The R is always difficult for me to roll. I'm not very fond of rolling my R's in the back. In Spanish, you always roll your R's in the front. And in Japanese, you pronounce your N's in the back of your tongue as well. But that's a different language. So for French dialect or the French language, it's crochet, crochet. And I do speak a little bit of French, so that helps. You know, point in my corner, but I'm not a fan of rolling my R's in the back. All right, so I have like all of this stuff. It's just like, it's so funny because anytime I read up on something while I was, you know, helping out at the school, I would write it down on whatever I could find and post it. Yellow note was one of them, and, you know, piece of paper at the office was another, and then here at my house I had lined paper here too. So since we know the word crochet, it's and I know in different languages you guys pronounce the T, so it's a hard T at the end, so crochet. I know in Spanish it's crochet. It is difficult, extremely difficult to pinpoint the origins of crochet because every continent, every state, every, you know, country claims an origin of some sort for as far as crochet goes, and it's hard to, you know, dial down an origin or the timeline from which. So what I did was I tried to find when it came to America, when it came to those places that they claimed that, you know, like Arabia or Dutch or the Mediterranean. So other sources claims it originated from Arabia. So I tried to look it up and said mostly the 1800s. Everywhere I looked, they couldn't find like the exact year, but it's always 1800s. So I believe that crochet originated in the 1800s, coming back to the Americas. So the one main area that people have claimed where crochet originated from is Arabia, and that it spread through the trading routes. And moreover, some also claim Mediterranean, England, Dutch islands. Like I said, it's hard to pinpoint it down, but the timeline is always the same. It's always the 1800s, mid 1800s when it came to Americas. And while it's hard to pinpoint it or narrow it down, so fun fact is that almost every article that I've read or I've come across, they always have stated that shepherds have taken textured fabric and slip stitched it. They would create something that would be used to keep them warm, and it was a more natural way to waterproof their clothing against the elements outside when they were shepherding their sheep. And I thought that was really cool because a lot of our fabric, a lot of our yarn comes from sheep or cotton or llamas or, you know, alpacas. So also another interesting tidbit, and I'm going to straight up quote it from Wikipedia because there was no other way that I could effectively relay this to you guys without like flubbing it. So Nile binding, I will put the word up down here somewhere, but Nile binding was used during the Viking era or the Viking age between 793 and 1066 in Scandinavia. Can you believe that? Before knitting and crocheting were ever known, it was an effective method for them to create sturdy, serviceable garments. I was like, what? Also, I read that in China, crochet came from this needlework technique that spread through Turkey, India, Persia, and North Africa. I was like, what? So a lot of people are saying that crochet has originated from different types of needlework and stitching from different areas of the work. So you got Scandinavia, you got China, you got Turkey, India, Persia, and North Africa. And also, some say that it traveled from the native islands, from the indigenous people. And I was just like, that is so crazy. But let's get back to the Nile binding, okay? It's still practiced today by the Nanti tribe and indigenous people of the Camisea region of Peru. So Peru has an indigenous tribe that still practice the Nile binding. And I was just like, that would be so interesting to see. So I want to look that up separately and go see what that is. But all these theories are just amazing to me. So Chinese needle stitching, the Nile binding, the way that the shepherds would slip stitch their textured fabric, it all, crochet has said to have derived from all of those different techniques. Another interesting bit of information that I found, which was really cool, is that knitting has been said to be recorded during ancient Egypt. Can you believe that? And I would not put it past it, because all of those fine, like clothing or garments that they wear, that is amazing to me, knowing that I can get up close to something and be like, oh my gosh, that's knitted chainmail, right? So while knitted has been dated back to ancient Egypt, crochet is a much younger art form, starting to show up during the early 1800s. So that's what I'm saying about the early 1800s. No matter where I read, no matter where I went, in every article, crochet has been showing up since 1800s. If you guys can hear my kids in the background, because I've been volunteering all week, it is difficult for me to record my videos very early. So I'm recording when everybody is home right now. So if you hear the noise, you can hear my boys in the background. They're playing. My son just got his latest figure. He just did a review on his video, really quick review, and he's so excited to just try it out. So he's down there doing that. I have always thought of Ireland or Scotland as one of those places that is just because the Fae, and because, knitting and crochet and yarn is just so big out there. I've always wanted to go there. So Ireland is famous for crochet. I've always said that. They're extremely famous for crochet. They claim to hold the origins there as well, because it was rooted there. And this is the reason why it was rooted there. There was a potato famine in the 1800s, and because there was a potato famine, the farmers' wives took up crochet to help provide with the much needed income to provide for their family. I thought that was so cool to hear, because they picked up their hook and their yarn and they just started crocheting and making stuff. In the 60s is when the crochet boom began. The granny square was the first ever pattern featured in a magazine, and what other magazine but a fashion magazine at that time? Vogue. I was just like, what? Blown away. It was not very popular when it first came out in England. Poor people were taking up crochet in England because they couldn't afford all the expensive lace. So it became the poor man's lace. And I was just like, that's so sad. But guess what? Queen Victoria, she was just like, you know what? Poor or not, I am going to take up crochet, and I'm going to start crocheting all kinds of scarves and things for all the people in the royal line. And I was just... Can you believe that? I was just like, go Queen Victoria, you did it. She was also known as the shortest queen there was, but she was a very bold and very spoken kind of queen, and she was the one that turned things around. So it didn't surprise me seeing her name there, saying, you know what, it's not just for poor people. It is a widely spreading art form for all people. And I was just like, go Queen Victoria. But I thought that was amazing that she decided just to step up to the plate. And this was around the 1820s. But crochet originated as a modern art form in the 1820s, in the mid 1820s. It started out, like I said, as the poor man's stitch for people that couldn't afford it when it came to the Americas. So I was just like, all of this information is just like information overload. I thought it was funny today because the kids that I was standing there, I was, at the long jump station, and the kids were like, do you know this? And I would shoot out the information. And they were like, do you know this? And I would give them the answer for that. And they were like, who was the first one who sailed across? Who was the first plane? And I would tell them, and they were like, how do you know all this stuff? My answer was, my brain is just full of useless information. And it brought me back to, now I know more, but it's not useless because we can use this in everyday life, and like sitting there conversating. And now we know a little bit more about where crochet originated from. I would like to think, because I am Native American, these people that would come to the new lands, and the natives or the indigenous tribes would teach them how to hunt, how to eat, how to survive on those lands. And the people that would come to the land, they built, and they would teach each other. So I would believe, or I firmly believe that it originated from these tribes wherever they came from, like Arabia. You know what I mean? There's tribes in every continent that were discovered. People creating new things. I mean, how did they learn how to eat or create weaving baskets or nets to catch fish, or things like that? And the trading thing, in Virginia, during the Virginia Company, for Pocahontas's time, her tribe taught them certain things, but for Thanksgiving, and originated from, it was mainly corn. There was no sugar, there wasn't a lot of sweets. Their berries were sour and bitter, so they didn't have any way of sweetening everything up. So the sugars came, and that's how the trading happened. That's how the trading started. Some tribes and some areas of the world didn't have specific things, so they would go. And I think that's how it went. They would get fabrics from this area that were weaved or that were crocheted or knitted in some places, and then they would trade it. And that's how people were taught, like, oh, where did you get this? I want to learn how to make it. Okay, let's bring a person from this area, or bring you the next time I go there. So the technique spread throughout everywhere, but the main areas that were learned from, that brought here: Scandinavia, China, Ireland, Turkey, India, Persia, North Africa. However, the development and the widespread popularity of crochet as we know it today is attributed to the European immigrants that came into the U.S. in the early 19th century. So I wanted to know when crochet happened here in America, here coming this way. So the Europeans that immigrated to the America countries, they brought it during the 19th century, and that is how we became more populated. So in America specifically, that's when it originated from, how we got to see where, how we got to learn how to crochet, how we got to experience it for the first time, was when the European immigrants came down here. So be thankful for them, because otherwise we would have waited a lot longer. And after that, in the 19th century, it kind of just boomed from there. So during the 60s is when the boom really began, when we start to see all kinds of different crochet pants, the crop tops, that everything that is popular now that has circulated back to 2023 or in the 2020s, it has circulated back from the 1960s or the 19th century, when crochet first started out here. So now we're watching everything replayed. For those of you that lived through the 60s, through Woodstock, and through women's rights and everything like that, through the marches and everything, the Watts riots, if you're from LA, and things like that. It's just like, it's amazing to see everything come back full circle. And you're just like, oh man, my mom is still finding magazines that my grandmother had, and there's patterns there from the 1960s, 70s. And I'm just like blown away, because I'm just like, wow, how old is this art form? And the truth is, nobody knows. We just know that it came here in the 1900s or the 19th century, and we're just really excited that now we know that we have all this yarn that we can use to create some beautiful, beautiful things. I am just overwhelmed and floored with all this information about crochet. I can't wait to delve into more of the history of it. This is just the origin part, guys. I spent a week, a week while everybody was asleep at night and while I had breaks during this week to, you know, even when we were at Knott's Berry Farm, I sat down waiting. I was the bag lady and everybody left their bags with me and my mom. And I was just like sitting there and reading stuff. My mom's like, "What are you reading?" I'm like, "Did you know this?" She was like, "That's really cool." So I am just really excited to continue to learn more about this. Like when the first crochet hook, when that was invented. But to know that knitting was part of ancient Egypt and that crochet is much younger than ancient Egypt, and to know that Ireland, you know, it helped them survive during their famine, you know, and then what if it was a Nile binding or the Chinese art form or, you know, all these different techniques? What if crochet just originated from them? What if it was just a bunch of collective stitches and then that's how it was created? So who knows, you know? It's like, oh, let's take a little bit from here. We have no idea. But I am just excited to continue to delve more into all of this. And I hope that I was not running around in circles. I hope that I gave you guys some useful information. But don't take my word for it, you guys. Go out there, do your own research, form your own opinions, and then if you want to comment down below if there's anything new that you found about crocheting, post in the comment section down below, and I will be sure to read them because I cannot wait to see what you guys have to say after this video. If you guys are doing your own research as well. But that is it for me today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring that notification bell. Click on the all button. It'll let you know when I drop another video. You guys have a blessed rest of your Wednesday and a blessed rest of your week. I will see you next time. Peace out. I do have some unboxing and then we will get into the real reason why Wednesday video. Okay. And then we'll get into video Wednesday video. I don't know. I do have some. I do have. I cannot stop it. I'm recording my video. Be quiet. You guys know I have to have matching shoes. I just dropped my shirt. And about crochet is that everybody always states that shepherds, okay, would do a textured, that's all, folks. A fun fact, okay, that everybody has stated at one point or another. Good grief, can I not get my words correct? Maybe I need water, that's probably it. I'm a little crooked here. Ah, and now the lighting's off. Hey, so tired. Okay, it's still practiced today by the Nanti tribe in like there's miles of crochet of, you know, Granny's. It was the first ever let's see, however, my brain is not working today. Wah!